Hey guys, welcome back to One Stop Biology. So today we are going to cover the third topic of the NCERT class 11th chapter 3 plant kingdom, which is bryophytes. So till now what we have covered is what are the general characteristic features of algae, what is algae and different types of algae. So we are going to cover the second type of or second group of plant organisms, which are bryophytes. Now basically these bryophytes are nothing but mosses and liverworts. So they include various types of mosses and liverworts, and they are commonly found in moist shaded areas. Okay, so they are commonly found in moist shaded areas in the hills. Now they are also known as amphibians of the plant kingdom. And why are they known as amphibians of the plant kingdom? It's because they although live in soil, but they are dependent on water for reproduction, for sexual reproduction, and that is why they are known as amphibians of the plant kingdom. Now usually they occur in damp, humid and shaded localities. Okay, so usually they occur in damp, humid and shaded localities, and they are very much important for plant succession on rocks or soil. So on bare rocks or soil, they're very important. They play a very important role in plant succession. Okay, and how does their body in general look like? So their body is thallus like, and the prostate is erect. So it is thallus like, it is erect, and it is attached to substratum. And it is attached to substratum how? It is attached to substratum by unicellular or multicellular rhizoids. Okay, so this is the basic feature of the bryophytes plant body. Now what happened is they lack true roots, stems or leaves, but when you see the structure of a bryophyte, you will see that somehow it resembles to a plant body, to a true plant body. Okay, so they lack true roots, stems, leaves. Their plant body is haploid. They produce gametes, and the sex organs are multicellular. Okay, so they have multicellular sex organs. Now basically the male sex organ is known as antheridium. Okay, so the male sex organ is known as antheridium, and they produce what? They produce biflagellate antherozoids. So by what do you mean by biflagellate? That these antherozoids are motile. These antherozoids are motile and they have two flagella. Okay, and now the female sex organ is known as archegonium, which is flask shaped, and it produces a single egg. So basically the male sex organ is antheridium and it produces multiple biflagellate antherozoids, but the female organ produces a single egg, and the female organ is flask shaped and is known as archegonium. Okay, so how the sexual reproduction happens? So these antherozoids are basically released into water, and it comes in contact with archegonium, and then it fuses with the egg to produce a zygote. Okay, now this zygote produces a multicellular body which is known as sporophyte. Okay, so you'll have to remember all these terms, is very important. Okay, so what happens? These antheridium have antherozoids, they produce antherozoids. It is released into water and it comes in contact with archegonium, which is the female sex organ, where it has egg. Now this antherozoid fuses with egg to produce zygote, and this zygote produces a multicellular body which is known as a sporophyte. Now this sporophyte is attached to photosynthetic gametophyte and derives nutrition from it. Okay, so this sporophyte produced is attached to the gametophyte of the plant and it derives nutrition from it. Now some cells undergo reduction division, which is also known as meiosis, to produce haploid spores, and these haploid spores again germinate to produce gametophyte. Okay, so these haploid spores again produce gametophytes. Now basically mosses provide food to herbaceous mammals, birds and other animals. Okay, so they provide food to a lot of organisms basically. Okay, and it also decomposes rocks, and which makes the substrate suitable for growth of higher plants. And that is why we said that it is important for higher plant succession, because it decomposes rocks and makes it suitable for higher plants to grow there. Okay, so it basically gives substrate to higher plants, and then it forms all dense mat, okay, which basically prevents soil erosion. How? Because it reduces the impact of falling rain, and it prevents soil erosion as well. Okay, so now these bryophytes, we have studied some very basic characteristic features of bryophytes. Now these bryophytes are divided into two types basically. Okay, the first type is a liverwort. Now what are liverworts? So basically they, again, since they are part of bryophytes and they would be having the basic feature, as you can see here, that they are grown usually in moist shady habitats such as banks of streams, marshy ground, damp soil, bark of trees, or deep in the woods. Okay, now here again, as you can see, that the plant body is thalloid. Okay, now this thallus is dorsiventral and it is closely pressed to the substrate. So you will understand this when you see the diagram of a liverwort. Okay, now they have leafy members as well, and leafy members have tiny leaves like appendages in two rows on stem like structure. And that is why I said that as we are moving ahead, you will find that the structure is although not of a true plant, but it is very similar to that of a true plant. Okay, so they have tiny leaf like appendages on stem like structure. Now we'll study different types of reproduction in liverworts. So again, asexual reproduction is through fragmentation of the thallus. The plural is thalli basically. So it is through fragmentation of thalli or formation of specialized structure which are known as gemmae. Okay, so what are these gemmae? These gemmae are green multicellular asexual buds. Okay, and they develop small receptacles which are known as gemma cups. Okay, now these receptacles detaches from the parent body and they germinate to form new individuals. So apart from forming fragments, apart from dividing through fragmentation, they also form a specialized structure which is known as gemmae, and these gemmae basically develop into small receptacles which are known as gemma cups and which detaches from parent body and germinate to form new individuals. Now how does sexual reproduction occurs? So it occurs through male and female organs. It can occur on same or different thalli. Okay, now how it occurs? So sporophyte is differentiated into foot, seta and capsule, and after meiosis they form spores, and these spores are produced within capsule, and those spores which are formed inside the capsule germinate to form a new free living gametophyte. Now one of the example of liverwort is Mercantia, and we'll see the structure of Mercantia as well. So this is Mercantia, okay, which is a liverwort. Now here, as you can see, that they'll have archegoniophore. So here you can see that this is the female thallus, this is the male thallus. Now what does female has? Archegonia, right? So that is the female sex organ. And what is the male sex organ? It is antheridia. Okay, so the male thallus has male sex organ, the female thallus has female sex organ. Okay, so which helps in development of spores which then germinate to form new free living gametophyte. Now here these small cups that you can see are nothing but gemma cup. Okay, and they have rhizoids as well. So it has both asexual as well as sexual reproduction. So here you can see this asexual and this is sexual reproduction. In the same way, the male thallus also has gemma cup and rhizoid. Okay, so this is the basic structure of a liverwort, which is Mercantia. Now we'll go to the second type of bryophyte, which is mosses. So first is liverwort, second is mosses. Okay, so what are these mosses basically? These mosses are again a type of bryophyte, and here the predominant stage of life cycle is gametophyte. So we previously studied that there are two type of stages in the life cycle. One is sporophyte and the other one is gametophyte, right? And it keeps on going. Okay, so in the case of a moss, the predominant stage of life cycle is gametophyte and it consists of two stages. Now the first stage is protonema stage. Now what is this protonema stage? It basically is it basically is creeping, green branched and filamentous stage. Okay, so it is a green branch filamentous stage and it develops after sporophyte is formed, and it forms spores. So basically this gametophyte stage, this protonema stage is formed from the spores which are formed during the sporophytic stage. Okay, now it consists of upright, slender, axis bearing, spirally arranged leaves, and it is attached to soil through multicellular and branched rhizoids, and this stage bears the sex organs. Okay, so this stage basically bears the sex organs. Okay, now how does the reproduction occurs in mosses? So the reproduction in mosses occurs through vegetative and sexual both again. Okay, so how does the vegetative reproduction occurs? The vegetative reproduction occurs either through fragmentation or budding. Okay, so it occurs either through fragmentation or budding in secondary protonema, so the gametophytic stage. And how does sexual reproduction occurs? So again, the sexual reproduction occurs through sex organs, antheridia and archegonia, which is produced at apex of the leafy shoots, which is present in the gametophytic stage. Now what happens is it is fertilized in water, and after fertilization the gamete, the zygote, develops into sporophyte, which consists of foot, seta and capsule. And here again the capsule part of the body contains spores which are formed after meiosis, and again these spores are released to form the gametophytic stage of mosses, which is again the protonema stage. Okay, so they basically have a very elaborate form of mechanism for spore dispersal as well. Okay, so they have an elaborate mechanism of spore dispersal, and some of the common examples are Funaria, Polytrichum and Sphagnum. Okay, so let's see the structure of these as well. So this basically is Funaria and the other one is Sphagnum. Okay, so these are Funaria and Sphagnum. Let me just erase this and we will study the labeled diagram as well. Okay, so in Funaria you can see that there are two stages, right? This is the gametophyte and this is the sporophyte, right? Here you can see that you have foot seta capsule, right? So this is seta, this is capsule. And in gametophyte, there are upright leaves. Then there is a main axis and rhizoids. The rhizoids are the basically parts along with the main axis which basically functions as the root for them and which attaches them to the substrate or substratum. Okay, and now let's see here in sphagnum there are different branches, right? So these basically are nothing but branches, and they have the male branch which is antheridial branch and the female branch that is archegonial branch. Okay, so as you can see there are two different branches here as well. So as you can see the structure is a bit similar to a true plant wherein they have leaves, they have rhizoids, that is root like structure, but they always lack a true system of root, shoot and leaves, right? So with this we end the part of the chapter which is bryophytes. Remember that this is again basic, but you will have to understand this in order to understand the higher complex system of plants that we are going to deal with in later chapters. I hope you understood everything in the video. If you didn't, please drop in a message in the comment and I'll reply. You can also WhatsApp me on the number given in the description of the video and I'll clear your doubts. If you did understand the video, please like it and share it with your friends as much as you can. I would like to have all your support, and you can also get a lot of content with respect to detailed notes which are hand created by me, keeping in mind your boards and NEET preparation, and a lot other content on my website which is www.onestopbiology.com. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel in order to be updated with all the latest videos that I'm coming up with. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.